Hi, welcome to the Inner Light Gazette presents The Inner Game of Miniature Golf. And of course you know why I say that, right? When you play miniature golf, there's obstacles and you have to decide, should I go under, over, around, or through? Sometimes they're really beautifully fascinating. If you go to a fancy miniature golf course, there's castles and turrets and moats and spinning wheels, and they really can grab your attention. And that's what happens in life. Our problems grab our attention and they hold us. So I'm not saying we want to ignore that. Like Ram Dass says, you want to chop the wood and carry the water. So you still want to do what needs to be done. However, the important thing that's going to make the difference in whether it unfolds in a graceful way is how you're holding it on the inside. So we want to focus on our inner game. Where is your awareness? What is going on for you on the inside? In what way are you being triggered? Once you see what's happening, then you can make a choice, and only then, only when you're being present, can you make a choice. And the choice is going to be between telling your story over and over and getting wrapped up in the story, or finding a new way to hold it. And finding is really the wrong word, because when you're present with the problem or the challenge as it unfolds, you don't have to find a new way. Something opens up. Your job is just to stay present and allow life to come to you. Something will open up in some way. Can you stay on that white-hot point of light? That point where you're having an experience on the inside in the face of whatever your challenge is. The inner game is what's going to determine how it unfolds. So right now, let's do a little meditation to see how we can make a choice. Do we want to choose to be present with what comes up for us inside, or are we going to just keep telling the story? And not to judge ourselves. Sometimes we'll tell that story just a little too many times. Sometimes we just find ourselves doing it. The mouth opens and the words come out. Carolyn Mace used to talk about that. She'd say, you're allowed to tell your story 3 times because you need a witness. And after that, you've moved in, she didn't say this, but you've moved into pathology. After that, it becomes unhealthy. At first it's healthy a couple times, and then it becomes unhealthy. So right now, drop in to your body. You might want to close your eyes. I find it covers up the distractions to help me get focused. Where is my body? Where am I in my body? How much of my body is available to me? Sometimes part of it is offline, like you can't really feel it. Most commonly, people have trouble feeling their backs. They have trouble feeling the second chakra. You can have trouble feeling any part of your body. Those are probably the most common places. So invite yourself to feel your body all over, all at once. I like to think of it that it lights up the way a Christmas tree does. If you have all the lights on the tree and then you go and you plug it in, they all light up all at once. That's so beautiful, and I like to feel that in my own body when everything comes online from me giving attention to it. So please join me in doing that. Dropping in, feeling your back, feeling your front, feeling the ground under your feet or the rug, or just feeling it, and feeling all the way down into the earth, feeling that connection. There's always a steady connection with the earth. We're just not always aware of it. And in the same way, feeling your divine connection, you can feel it through the top of your head. It comes in many ways, but that's one way you can feel it. It's always there. You're not always aware of it, but it's always there. Imagine now that you can feel that energy coming in the top of your head, through your whole body, and imagine the earth energy coming up through your whole body, through the bottoms of your feet. And if you would put your attention in the core of your body now, whatever that means to you, usually it's somewhere around the third chakra, below the rib cage and above the waist. And imagine an energy coming to you and filling you from that deep, deep, deep point. Settling in, just allowing it to be. And now think of some challenges in your life. Pick one, whichever one is the one that you find your thoughts going to the most right now. And just allow it to be there. And notice, where is it that you get triggered around that event, that challenge? Is it a personal challenge with somebody else? Is it a challenge between you and your life? Is something not unfolding in the way you had anticipated that it would unfold, or that you wish it would unfold? Feeling into the story. So if you were going to tell one of your friends right now about that story, let that part of the story run through your head like it's a movie. There's always some kind of wounding underneath whatever comes up for you in response to this event or this person. And what I find is that the more society would agree with you that your position is right and you should be angry, feeling anxiety, the more society would agree with you, the deeper the wounding in that place. And the deeper the wounding often means you were at a younger age when you first started having that relationship with these trigger points, that whenever something similar would happen, you would feel triggered. Because otherwise they're just events. When I find myself writhing inside in the face of the event, then I know there's a deep wounding going on. Often it's a judgment that I have of myself. I could have, would have, should have done it better or differently in some way. Or that it means something about me that I have this event in my life, that I'm not good enough or whatever. I mean, those are the typical things that our minds say. So just noticing what comes up for you as you think of this event, and allowing that event to unfold like a movie in your mind's eye. And just allowing it to be there. Standing on that white-hot point of fire where you feel the emotions that there are to feel. And now find what other choices there are, or allow them to find you. What other choices could happen in this type of circumstance if you weren't being triggered? What if this circumstance or event was happening to somebody else? They wouldn't get triggered the way you get triggered. They would have their own way of getting triggered, or they might not get triggered at all. And you've probably seen that, where somebody else feels upset about something, and you can just watch them, but you don't actually feel triggered yourself by that circumstance. And that is always true. There's always somebody who wouldn't be triggered by something that you're feeling triggered by. So imagine other ways that this could unfold besides for you getting triggered. Maybe allow a few different ways to arise, even if they seem far-fetched. I've been having a plumbing problem with a leak in the bathroom in my house. And I had horrible nightmares of thoughts that my mind wanted to go to. And I had to keep working it because I I thought, oh, it's going to be so expensive, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. All those kinds of thoughts kept coming. And I knew better. And so I kept working with myself. I just kept allowing it to be there without going into thought, without going into the future, and without going into the past, like I could have, would have, should have done something else. I just allowed myself to be there with it. And we know that worrying doesn't help any. We know that. And so I actually was able to let go of the worrying around it. And today I found somebody who's going to repair it for me very, very inexpensively, like a third of the price that I thought I would have to end up paying. So I'm really excited about that because I feel like it was proof. It's proof that this works. You let go and the universe comes forward on your behalf. It's so beautiful. It's grace. So try this anytime you want with anything that comes up. And then ask yourself, where is joy? I asked myself, where was joy when I noticed that I had so many other thoughts going around, none of them were very joyful. I said, where's joy? And the joy came up in my heart. It said, here I am. I'm in your heart. Here I am. It was so strange. It was almost like I could hear it saying, here I am, like a little child coming forward. So all you have to do to find your joy is ask. Ask your body on the inside, where's joy? Because there's always an undercurrent of joy going on. So you're not being disloyal to your problems if you allow joy to rise up in you. It's like, here's your problem and here's your joy. They can both coexist at the same time, and they do. It's just sometimes we don't notice. And so once again, it's about being the observer and having your relationship with yourself, where you ask yourself, where is joy? And right now, ask right now, drop down deeper into your body and ask, where is joy? And see where it rises up for you. And if you don't feel it, use your imagination and your body will learn from that. Imagine that you can feel, I feel it, you imagine you can feel it rising up in your heart or wherever you think it might be. Thanks so much for joining me today.